Hello everyone, welcome back to another Shunka2 video. The title of this video, I think it's going to be like, I lost control of my life, which is true, and you guys will find out why. But it's more so almost a choice, and I guess you guys will find out why if you keep watching. But anyways, this is a very long story that spans over a couple of months, and I guess this also ties into why I haven't been uploading recently. So please stick around. This might be a longer video. I'm not sure. Probably not. But yeah. So I've made multiple videos on this topic. Kinda. Dealing with some aspect of this topic at least. One of the ones I can remember is the disappearance, the decline of Prime, my decline. And that was a one-part video or something like that, talking about how I was on downwards trend. I was losing motivation for a lot of things, and just like how I was becoming a worse person in general, right? A worse version of myself. And so, oops, I shouldn't move that crafting table. And so, I guess I'll start at the beginning of it, how it all started. I know it's been quite a while, 2 weeks since I made a video, and I'm really sorry for that. I'll apologize more towards the end and give an update on my upload schedule at the end. But anyways, here we begin. How I ruined my life. Not really ruined, but just like how I lost control over my life. So I guess I'll start at the end of my junior year of high school. If you guys don't know, I'm a freshman in college right now. But at the end of my junior year of high school, things were going honestly, things were going pretty well, right? One of my main extracurriculars I did in high school was like physics competitions, right? And I think it was in April or something. I took the United States Physics Olympiad. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, man. That was weird. Physics Olympiad exam, right? And, like, I had been kind of... That was, like, the only thing left I had to worry about before college applications, right? And so, I finished that, and I felt so free. Like, that day, I'm like, I'm done. High school is basically over. All I need to do is finish these college applications, and I'll be done. Now, college applications at the time didn't seem too bad. I was like, they won't be too bad, but, oh, I was quite wrong. Anyways, so yeah, I finished those the physics thing. I had my AP exams. The AP exams were not too bad, honestly. And then I was just like so given up at that point. I was just like in my class I was playing Minecraft because I had a lot of classes with seniors, and seniors had, if you guys don't know what senioritis is, it's basically when you give up at the end of your high school career because none of your grades matter anymore because you've already gotten to college. I hadn't yet, but I still kind of gave up, and I grew lazy. I played Minecraft in class, and that was the point I decided to start focusing on YouTube, which is a good thing, that a good product of what came out of my increased relaxation, right? I was like, okay, now I actually kind of have time to do stuff for myself. I don't have to focus on school that much. I'm kind of free. And so I was like, perfect. This is great. And I just started, being more relaxed, making YouTube videos, all that good stuff. That part was good. But the thing is, I just become very, very averse to doing work. Very, very against doing work. And anytime I had the summer camp, right, it was a science research summer camp. I did not do any work for that. We had like a group research project. I did not do any work for that. I was really focused on my YouTube channel. Like, I think it was then I began to realize, like, okay, I've been focused on my classes all this time, but now I'm free, kind of. My grades still matter, but like, I don't want to do work anymore. I want to do things that I want to do, And at that time, all that mattered to me was honestly YouTube. So I was really obsessed with YouTube at the time, and so I didn't do any work. And senior year, at the beginning of senior year, it was the same thing. I was taking, since I was taking a college level course, I had like half the amount of classes that everyone else had. So while everyone else might have had like quite difficult senior year schedule. My senior year schedule was honestly like really easy. I didn't do any work for my classes, like even the 4 classes I had in school, because they were pretty easy classes, and I was just like a really bad student overall senior year, I guess. Like my grades were still good. I just didn't put any effort into my classes. So that was the beginning of senior year. And then came college applications. And I think this actually kind of ruined me. Not really in the reason you guys might think. But basically college applications was honestly I guess it was not that much work, honestly. You just read a couple essays, fill in a bunch of information, but it was very tedious, right? And when it comes to very tedious, unengaging, boring work, or things that I consider that, honestly, it wasn't that boring, but I just made it seem very boring to me. I just really, like, I had already established the precedent that, okay, I'm not going to do things I don't want to do anymore. I'm focusing on YouTube. I really want to focus on YouTube. And you guys will remember, I had the whole 1 month period where I stopped Schnucka 2 because my parents wanted me to focus on college apps, rightfully so. I don't know if it was the right way of going about it, but, and it did not have the desired effect. I just did not, I sat there in front of my computer for 3 hours basically, just procrastinating doing college apps. Honestly, I probably spent a total of maybe like 40 hours on college apps. I think that's honestly a reasonable estimate. And I'm really lucky for that. I know people who worked their like butts off and still like weren't very successful for their standards, and it's just like crazy to me, right? I got really lucky and I'm very thankful for that. But I just like I did the bare minimum work for college apps. And like although that was already like kind of true for all my high school, this was like one of the more egregious cases. And I think that was just a general trend. I just started doing, if I didn't want to do something, I just didn't do it, right? And then college decisions came out. Like in the week before I submitted my early applications, and then I had to do my regular round. I barely worked on my regular round, so I was very lucky I got in early. Like, if you guys remember my videos during that time, I was very stressed out. And I think it was just like a major life change, and I felt like I kind of had no control, or I didn't really want to have control. That's kind of a common theme. I don't want to have control. Like, having control means you have responsibility, and that was just very scary for me. So I just kept procrastinating everything, right? I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to make a decision on anything either. I know I'm going off on a bit of a tangent, but after I got in though, I was like, I'm gonna focus on YouTube. But then I slowly lost motivation even for that, because I was like, okay, high school's about to end, you know. What if I did more high school stuff? What if I focus on actual high school stuff? Like doing videos, well, I can do that any time in my life. I can do that in the future, but high school is limited, you know. I think that was kind of my implicit mindset. I didn't really tell that to myself explicitly, but that's maybe why I lost interest in YouTube. I'm not too sure. And so became my hyper socialization phase. I've probably talked about this, but I became really obsessed with socializing and just experiencing things with people, right? Doing stuff with people. And I think that was honestly very good, right? I'm not saying I regret anything. Like, I want to make that clear. I don't regret anything so far. Right? I'm very happy with how my senior year went, honestly. And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to talk to people, and that's all I did. And that's all I did. Because I already got in, my grades didn't really matter. I only cared about having fun, making the most out of my time in high school, having fun, meeting as many new people, making as many new friends, attending as many events as possible, and just having as much fun. Which I think is not a bad mindset. But, you know, when it came time for college, I think the right mindset was like, okay, now it's college. I have to reel myself back in. I have to get in the habit of doing more work. And I did not do that at all. I did the complete opposite of that. With college approaching, I hadn't done work in so long, or like, because, like, think about it, right? Everything up from the end of junior year up to now, like the research projects, all my classes, even college applications, I was just like, I don't really want to do it. I'll just like kind of half procrastinate it, and like not really worry about it too much. I'll do the minimum work possible, and each time like something happened, I would just do less and less required work. I think that kind of makes sense. And so when college came around, I was like, oh, course selection time. You know what? I don't think I can like, it doesn't matter that much, right? Course selection. I can wait a bit. And so that's what I did. I waited and I procrastinated course selection. I didn't really put much effort into it. I didn't do any research into what courses were good. And I ended up picking kind of bad courses, honestly. Like, I really regret not taking this one computer science course that everyone else took that I should have, right? And so, yeah, that was like very bad. Oops. That was bad. And so, oh man. Oh wow, I need more armor. Okay, and then college started. And I thought, okay, college is started. I'm going to have a lot of work, you know. It's going to push me back into the work mindset. I'm ready, right? And honestly, the first week, actually the first couple days maybe, were okay. I mean, new student orientation, that was like orientation, like the first week you don't have any classes. It's just like getting to know everyone. That was kind of not really, you know, doing work. But after that, it kind of started. I had assignments, but I think one of the problems was that there was actually not enough work. Like, there's not enough work to get me back into the right mindset, if that makes sense. Like, I could still get by doing very little in all my classes. Like, my math class didn't have homework, my physics class didn't have homework. I had a writing class that was really easy. And the only class that actually had homework was computer science, and that started off very slowly too, because it was an introductory class, right? So all these factors combined into me actually not having that much work, and so that just left me with a lot of time to myself, right? And the thing is, I had a really good senior year experience, right? It was all focused on having fun. And now I had this, like, it wasn't too much work where I was like I honestly didn't have that much work. But for me, if you just have work in the background, it kind of like makes it very not fun for me, you know? Like, even if it's not that much work, if there's just something I have to do, it's like, I have to do that. You know, it's not like freeing, like you have nothing to do, right? I really like that free feeling that I had in senior year. So now I had this unfree feeling. And what basically happened was, I would stay in my dorm and like talk to my friends back home all day, and stay up really late, honestly. And that meant that my sleep schedule here was absolutely horrible, even more horrible than it was during senior year. And what happens when your sleep schedule is really horrible, I think, is you kind of don't get to experience everything as fully as you would otherwise, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I had the motivation, and you lose motivation too. You don't have the motivation to go out and actually talk to people and meet new people, right? If that makes sense. So I kind of just like did not that I was unable to adapt. It's just I didn't really want to. I wanted to live in the past of high school, of everything, and so I did. That's exactly what I did. I just, like, you know, talked to people at home. I was never really living in the moment. And I was just like thinking, oh, high school is so nice. Okay, so that's basically the mindset I was in. Now, combine this with the fact that my classes don't require much work, and I was already very used to like being like, okay, I can do the bare minimum. And that's not very good. So I applied that to this, right? I turned in my assignments for like my writing class like 3 weeks late, right? I'm in orchestra. I stopped attending orchestra rehearsal, and I was just like completely, like very, very, just like completely, almost, I don't really know how to describe it. Just completely, just not treating school serious enough. I was like, it's fine. This assignment isn't worth that much. It's fine if I don't do it. Like, I still care about my grades, but, like, okay, another aspect to this is my parents would care about my grades a lot, right? And be like, oh, Kevin, you need to get good grades. Yeah. And I had some intrinsic motivation to get good grades for a good college, too. But now, like, without my parents constantly reminding me that, I kind of was like, it doesn't really matter that much. And I kind of realized this in senior year too, right? I think I made videos to be like, I wish I talked to more people earlier. I'm like, was all that academic effort really worth it? And the answer is yes, I think. Honestly, I did not have to put in that much academic effort. I could have put in the same amount and just wasted less time on YouTube, and I would have been able to talk to more people. That, like, I was not like occupied 24/7. I had time to talk to people. I just didn't, right? That was a problem. And so I think I applied that mindset to college. I was like, do I really have to try that hard in my classes? You know, I can try and talk to people more. Now, there are two problems with it. Number one, I wasn't actually talking to people more. Right? I'll go over number one. Not that. Number one was like, I wasn't actually trying that hard in my classes, right? I was doing the barest minimum, even less in high school. Like, I would do assignment for the writing class. It wasn't good enough. I would get like 0 points, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just redo it. And like, I would try and make it as bad as possible to just get by, like put in as little effort as possible. And if it was enough, I would just redo it. And I really don't like that writing class, but it is what it is. That's the class I regret picking. And if I did more research, I would not have picked that class, right? And so that was kind of the predicament I was in. And yeah, I was like, okay, I can, socialize more and stuff, but I wasn't. Instead, I was like missing high school, talking to all my old high school friends. I was just stuck in the past, I was very stuck in my high school past. Extremely, extremely stuck. I was wallowing there all day, being like, oh, I wish high school didn't end, Oh, man. And I that's all I thought about. And so, okay, not only did this lead me to, like, not really try and adapt. Like, I think I could have adapted pretty easy. I think I like to think that I adapt to new scenarios pretty easily. But this time I was just, like, didn't want to adapt. I didn't want to, like, a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I felt like I'm in college. Like, I wish I felt like a college student. I didn't want that, right? I could have had that if I tried harder. But I almost didn't want to feel like a college student because that would mean I'm not in high school anymore. I just couldn't accept the truth that I wasn't in high school anymore and that was over, right? Like, the thing is, I have all the resources and everything is laid out in front of me to be able to have a great college experience, right? I have my a cappella group. I have great people around me. I've met tons of great people. But the problem is myself. It's not that I don't have resources presented to me. Not that, oh, like, this went wrong, that went wrong. Not that my school isn't great. It's myself. I'm preventing myself from the whole experience, I guess. I think. If that makes any sense. Like, I'm the one that needs to fix it. Not anything else. Like, the only reason for my own downfall is kind of myself, right? And some of you will be like, oh, don't be too hard on yourself, yeah, but I think that's kind of the truth. Now, to argue whether or not you have control over yourself, that's a whole nother argument, right? Do you have free will or not? And I would argue that, yeah, okay, some environmental factors might have influenced this, like, but the thing is, it's fully within my control to fix it, right? I'm honestly, like, quite happy with, like, I'm not happy, well, I'm pretty happy right now, honestly, but, like, I'm just not in the moment at all. Like, I just keep thinking, oh, high school, and I'm not really trying to enjoy right now when I should be, right? Like, all I think is, like, when I do something fun is like, oh, that was fun, or that should have been fun, and that was kind of fun. I think I had fun. But I don't actually fully put myself out there and be like, like actually feel the fun, you know? I just compare it to high school. I was like, oh, this is like high school where this was fun. I don't know if that completely makes sense. And oh yeah, going back to the point. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around, but going back to the point of like grades and stuff, and like before my parents were there, but now it was all up to me, right? It's like everything in college becomes your responsibility, and part of that responsibility is also like the mindset you put yourself in. Almost, I don't know if that makes sense. Like it's your responsibility to. Obviously, if you go into the mindset would be like, oh, I don't really want to enjoy this because I don't want to accept I'm in a new place. You're gonna like, obviously not have as much fun. And like if you're still thinking about high school, worry about stuff in high school, it's just like very not helpful for you to adjust. And so now, okay, I realize this logically, right? But I feel like it's still very difficult. Well, it's not really difficult. It's just a bit difficult for me to kind of actually shift my mindset deep down. Because logically, yeah, okay, this all makes sense. All I have to do is shift my mindset, but it's really hard for me for some reason. And I think it might be an excuse for me to be lazy, but still, it's a bit difficult. And I think the core reason to this is my physical health. I was talking to one of my friends, and they said it was my physical health. Because if you have like a very bad sleep schedule, let's say, which I do have a horrible sleep schedule, you're not going to be able to like fully live within the moment. Obviously, you're not going to be able to fully adjust, right? It doesn't make sense. Like, obviously, like, because like having a horrible messed up sleep schedule, that just makes you really miserable all the time. And I kind of, yeah, and that makes you talk to less people. It's just like a big hindrance. It puts you in a bad mood, and it's just really bad, and it puts you in a really bad mental state too, I think. Right. And so if you have bad health, obviously you're gonna not be like very able to enjoy yourself, I guess. And so that's like one part of the solution. But the problem is it's a very strong like positive feedback loop, right? If you don't get enough sleep, you're gonna feel worse, and then you're gonna stay up later, and then you're gonna like it's just gets worse and worse. Like I am very so lazy that like I just don't go out of bed in the mornings sometimes, and then I like sleep till 3, and it's honestly just a problem of I sleep shit, honestly, like. And fixing is kind of hard because like you have to have motivation itself, but that motivation kind of comes from you having a better sleep schedule in the first place, to have a better, like. And so yeah, that's kind of how I've lost control over my life. I do still have control. That title is honestly not true. Like, everyone has control over their lives. Well, not full control. Like you don't have control over what happens, but you do have control of what you do with what happens. Like how you deal with what happens, right? And you can only choose. You can't complain about the cards you're dealt. You have to like, you have to learn a good strategy. I guess I don't know how that's related, but sorry, I'm getting to that phase in the video where I start to begin to ramble. But yeah, that's kind of my problem right now. I just like don't have. All my life I've been extrinsically motivated, mainly from my parents, and so now when it all comes down to myself, and I've entered into a cycle of laziness and not motivating myself and being like, it's not necessary to motivate myself. It's just very hard to get out of that cycle and actually like put necessary effort into things. And like the first step in that, I've recognized this and I've told myself this many times, is just getting a better sleep schedule, right? Sleep earlier is so much better, but I don't. And so the combination of all these factors makes me feel like I've lost control of my life when I really do have the power to change it. So yeah, I guess that's kind of what I wanted to say. Now, yeah, so moving forward, I guess I just have to sleep better. I guess that's like kind of the takeaway. It's just like sleep better and then it'll be good. I guess like that's kind of it, honestly. So yeah, I hope I will do that. Yeah. Anyways, I guess what's the lesson here? The lesson is before going to college. College is a big transition, right? Make sure you are ready. Don't succumb to senioritis too much. Like it's okay to for sure have fun in senior year, but the summer leading up, you need to kind of start like being like, okay, I kind of gotta, you know, I have to get my head in the game now. It's no more fooling around, type of thing, right? And so, oh, I kind of want that on my sword. Wait, let me get some more emeralds. 1 second. And so, yeah, make sure you're ready for college. Prepare yourself for college, before entering college. And in terms of my uploads, if you guys have made this far, thank you so much. I know I rambled a lot. I haven't done these in a while, and whenever I don't do these in a while, I like get really bad at being concise with my thoughts and actually speaking while playing, and that's very important. But I really hope to not enjoy, to resume my daily uploads. And how long I can stick that, I don't know. But I think one of the most important things about getting back into the mindset of doing more work and like being a better, like actually more involved person in my own life, because right now laziness is basically like, okay, you don't want to have control over your life. You kind of like, I kind of like the not control over my own life, because it's like you're shying away from responsibility, right? And part of regaining that responsibility is just like establishing better habits, right? Because a habit is kind of like, okay, you just do it because you do, and it's implied responsibility almost. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I hope that the idea kind of gets across. You know, it's just like, does no one have the coal trade? What? No one has the coal trade. There we go. Okay, that's enough. Where's the weaponsmith? But yeah, it's kind of like implied responsibility. Like if you have and that definitely, just having different types of things, like routines in your life, like even going to the gym, just setting a sleep time, or just having like this as a very good habit is like, I think very helpful to, I guess, oh, this is very nice. Very helpful to just like get you back in the correct mindset and put your life back on track, you know, if that made any sense at all. But yeah, I will be trying to make daily uploads, hopefully. And obviously, like, it takes a while after being on such a long break to get back into the, you know, Shnakatu groove and talk properly and provide actually good videos. But, you know, yeah, it is what it is, right? It'll take a bit, but eventually I'll get back there. Anyways, I think that is all I have to say today. Haha. Okay, I love that. I think that was all I have to say. But yeah, just like, you know, you had to. Oh, this is really nice. I wish I got that on my pickaxe. Yeah. Life is life. Life is life. And, you know, sometimes. Oh wait, I forgot to talk about how I'm really lost right now. But I think, that couldn't deserve its own video. Like how life is meaningless is very scary. But I guess that this describes my current situation right now. And I'll relate that to tomorrow's video. I guess I'll talk about it tomorrow. But this is enough right now, I think. It just describes my current situation, where I'm at in terms of motivation. And I guess the being lost is like another result-ish of this. It's kind of separate. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Stay motivated. Stay in control of your life. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye. Bye. Bye.